ACC Sunday Night Hoops is brought to you by Staples. Get back time, go to Staples. By EA Sports, if it's in the game, it's in the game. By Braun, designed to make a difference. And by Acura, experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer. Welcome you back to the campus of the University of Maryland in College Park, MD. Nearly 20,000 on hand here at the Comcast Center. After 47 years, the Maryland Terrapins no longer call Cole Fieldhouse home. You had a chance to experience that environment over your 4 years at Duke. Let's take a look at the UPS starting lineups. We begin with Georgia Tech, an extremely young team, and a change in the lineup for their head coach, Paul Hewitt. Freshman Jarrett Jack and the highly touted freshman center, Chris Bogg. Nelson is out. Luke Schenscher, the 7'1" Australian, is in.
And Tom, you talk about it. I'm sure they brought the intensity from here over from Cole Fieldhouse. An awfully tough place to play. I think the big key is how the freshman Jarrett Jack, who's going to be handling the ball, handles the pressure, and they need Schenscher inside for big presence.
Let's meet the defending national champion Maryland Terrapins. Drew Nicholas and Steve Blake, the senior duo in the backcourt. Randall, a junior college transfer, a senior. Painter Medley, a freshman, getting the start, along with another young player, and Travis Garrison, the freshman out of Suitland, Maryland, at DeMatha High School.
Again, we talked about it and how Steve Blake kind of molds this team into something that's cohesive. And I think for Gary Williams, last year was last year, and you have to move forward. You relish that championship, but they need to get this group on the same page going into the ACC regular season.
Gary Williams, of course, his alma mater right here at Maryland, the team captain back in his final year under Bud Milliken. Paul Hewitt in his third season at Georgia Tech. He's finally recruiting, bringing in the style of players he wants around. We'll talk about that throughout the game. All right, let's get to the G-Man's Jeep, brought to you by Staples. First for the Ramblin' Wreck.
Georgia Tech, confidence early, especially coming off the 27-point loss up at Syracuse. They want to hang in there in the first 8 minutes. Also respond physically inside to Maryland and their presence along the front line. For the Terrapins, handle the basketball. Georgia Tech is going to be pressing full court. They need to get through that, and then also build the defense inside out. Make Tech beat you from the perimeter.
Bosch wins the opening tip-off, and we are underway here in College Park. Jarrett Jack, the freshman. Marvin Lewis, a junior, really the only junior to see significant playing time. And Schenscher getting a start here tonight.
And I think more than anything, they need to look to their upperclassmen, Elder and Lewis, to get them going.
Elder off the mark, and Blake comes away with a rebound for Maryland. The senior out of Miami Lakes, Florida, via Oak Hill Academy. Been a 4-year starter for the Terrapins. Painter Medley, the freshman, out of the state of Maine. The most highly decorated player from there in years. That went off the front of the glass, and look at Bosch. He leads the ACC in rebounding at over 10 a game.
And Maryland running through their flex offense, really getting nothing out of it, had to settle for the long jump shot.
Schenscher gets the tip from Elder and lays it in.
Coming off a great game up at Syracuse, double figures off the bench, 10 points, and we talked about his size. Nobody got a body on him.
Schenscher has bulked up from a season ago. He's put on nearly 40 pounds, but he's got a load in there to deal with in Randall. And Painter Medley going for the rebound, but knocked out of bounds by Marvin Lewis, Maryland ball.
You think about it, Tom, there aren't many 7-footers in the ACC this year, and the fact that Georgia Tech has him in their starting lineup, they were concerned about what Maryland was able to do coming into this game in the paint, but he's already been a factor inside on both ends of the floor.
Takeaway by Jarrett Jack. 2-on-2 the other way. Jack, what a move, and he will go to the line.
That is Georgia Tech's game right there. Maryland's biggest fear, turnovers and then getting out in transition, especially if you get a turnover out in front of in the back court. Really, there's no chance for the defense to get back. That's a pretty good take right there, 1-on-2. Jarrett Jack very aggressive.
Free throw shooting has already been an Achilles heel for this Georgia Tech team this season. Paul Hewitt will tell you, yeah. We had a game where a player from Tennessee, John Higgins, threw one in from half court to beat us. They lost on the road at Minnesota. But free throws have really hurt them early on this year, only at 57%.
And historically, his teams at Siena and Georgia Tech have been very good in that department. So this is a new road for him, but he really hasn't changed his approach, and he thinks his team will come around as the season goes along.
Baseline contact, and the left-hander drops it in.
Tanner Medley, a big-time scorer out of Maine.
Turnover.
This is the thing early on that Maryland's been pretty pleased with defensively. Active hands, and time just a miscue by Georgia Tech.
Maryland on defense, the sixth best field goal percentage defense in the country. Long range try off the mark by Garrison and run down by Lewis for Georgia Tech.
I think quick long shots really work to the benefit of Georgia Tech.
Left hand through nothing but glass by Shencher. Blake the other way.
The Shencher does have the ability to shoot with both hands, and probably felt a little confidence after getting that early stick in, but not a good shot on his part.
Georgia Tech with a 6'10" freshman Boss, along with Jack chasing the ball 25 feet away from the floor, and nearly got a turnover.
You have to be careful in that situation. You don't pick up a foul reaching in, especially one of your key players that far from the basket. But when they run screen roll, Georgia Tech will jump out aggressively and try to double team.
There you see it, but Shencher maybe a half step late. Blake pitches to Nicholas. And Blake will reload.
Yeah, we talked earlier, I likened him to Dan Marley. I was very impressed watching him work out yesterday in practice. Very active player, can take it to the rim, plays very strong.
Randall. And a reach-in foul by Garrison. That will be his first and the team's second for Maryland.
You know, this summer, Shencher worked out with the Australian Olympic team and won't be on the team in 04 for them, but he felt that just his time on the practice floor really helped him. Guys like Chris Anstey and a lot of the big players for Australia, it really helped his development.
Look at Bosch handle the ball. Pitches to Lewis for three. Little short. Elder comes in from the weak side of tipping in.
Well, we talked, and you think Maryland might have a little advantage on the glass, but they have not done a good job here early with second chance. That's their second offensive rebound for a basket.
Nicholas rattles it in. Through Nicholas, Maryland's leading scorer, nearly 18 per game. Quickly at the other end, Elder lays it in. Elder, the leading scorer for Georgia Tech on the season at 17 a game.
If you want to make a coach mad, give up a fast break basket after a made basket on the other end. This is what Georgia Tech is going to do. They are going to be wide open trying to get the ball off the floor.
Good denial defense by Marvin Lewis. Elder going to pull up for three, and it's not there.
You cannot be surprised by where he shoots the ball from. He's got the green light.
Contact as Blake brought the ball into the lane. This Georgia Tech team, there are many who watched them last year really blossom as a very young club that believe, Mike, they're dangerous going into this ACC season.
No question. They finished up 7-2 last year, and the young guys playing well early.
You know exactly what you want in your next home, or you're ready for someone who can show you just about everything out there. Either way, put Maryland's #1 realtor, Craig Northrup, and the Northrup team to work now. The proof is in the numbers. We sell a home every day. Take virtual home tours on the website of Maryland's #1 real estate team at 1mdrealestate.com. Ready to buy? You're right where you need to be. Craig Northrup and the Northrup team. Log on or call today.
Terps fans, Subway's filling your order this season with a Maryland basketball news you crave. Every week, check out the Subway Gary Williams Report on Sportsnet at 6:30 and 10. Jared lost over 200 pounds eating Subway subs while watching Sportsnet at 6:30. And Clay Henry couldn't have come up with his jingle without watching Sportsnet at 10. Plan your meals around it, too. Check out ComcastSportsNet.com to find out which days the coach talks hoops this week. Every day is game day on Comcast Sportsnet.
Look, if you had $1 One opportunity. Seize everything you ever wanted. One moment. Did you capture it?
Back out. Score! He got it! It's going to be close. I think it went. I think it went. They'll look at it again, but I think it went.
JBA Chevrolet's year-end countdown is on. There will never be a better time to buy. 0% 60-month financing is back. Rebates and discounts up to $8,000. Plus, JBA will pay off your trade no matter what you owe. Hurry to JBA, the Chevy Superstore. Glen Burnie.
Welcome back to the Comcast Center here in College Park. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our double dip. The Dayton Flyers on the road to battle the 3rd-ranked Duke Blue Devils. Coverage begins right after our game right here on Fox Sports Net. Speaking of Duke, let's take a look at the Lexus AP Top 10. Duke number 3 in that poll, number 1 in the USA Today poll.
It's interesting numbers there. Alabama certainly hasn't been in that situation in a long time, but things are going to change rapidly here, Tom, as everybody gets into conference play this week or next.
Tanner Medley off the glass, no good. Ishmael Muhammad with a rebound. He's just checked in for Georgia Tech, as has last year's Rookie of the Year in the ACC, Ed Nelson, number 32, only a sophomore. Jack underneath to Bosch. Little turnaround left-hander. Whoa, what a pretty move.
Only 210 pounds, and he is going to fill out. But if you were going to give him that type of catch in the paint, 8 points in the paint now for Georgia Tech out of their 9. They are dominating things inside.
Georgia Tech going to his own defense. Big collision underneath the basket as Taj Holden comes on for Maryland and is immediately whistled for the offensive foul.
Well, stepping in, and here's a look on the screen roll. You'll see him sneak underneath. And if he's allowed to catch in the paint right there, it's lights out. He's either going to get fouled or he's going to score the basket.
Mike brought up earlier, the first 5 games of his college career, double-doubles for Chris Bosch. That's not been done in 5 consecutive games by a Yellow Jacket since Malcolm Mackey in the last 30 years. Isolated on Holden, gave him a head fake, goes to the rack, they'll never stop him there.
Yeah, and it was great. It was a repost. Initially, Taj Holden had fronted him. They took the ball away and came back to him in the established position. Bosch has too much foot speed for most big people when he faces up.
What a start for the Ramblin' Wreck, leading 11-4 through the first 6 minutes here in College Park.
Paul Hewitt talked about the fact this team needed a confidence boost coming off the spanking up in Syracuse. They've gotten it here early.
Holden missed it, got his own rebound, and then half got it on by Bosch.
But here's the thing, you get the curl on the big guy, and then you force, and he's trying to figure out where Holden's playing him and not giving up. He knows the play is going to come, swing back around on this side. He reestablishes position, and now the clear out. There's just no chance. Blake kind of comes in and waves at the play, but that is a well-designed play.
Taj Holden slow to get started this senior year. He saw significant playing time on last year's national championship team. Had a death in the family, missing the last game against UMBC, averaging just 6 points per game.
And you see a little bit of a change in the attitude. Holden that time went aggressively at the rim, tried to dunk the ball. He got the foul inside, and he's got Shencher out of the ball game now with shorter Nelson, and so I think it opens things up for Maryland. They've been relying a little bit too much on the jump shot.
Taken away by the Maryland defense. Blake gives it up, and Nicholas Green.
Well, half-court 2-1-2 right there, and Georgia Tech not responding to it.
And with that in mind, Paul Hewitt wants a 30-second timeout.
It's amazing, Tom, that teams that pressure you don't like to get pressured.
Why is that? You hear that all the time, but I mean, I think a lot of people say, well, why?
Well, and it's the thing, it's interesting. I don't think that they're used to pressuring the second unit in practice. The other side of it is that they don't get it replicated to them. Right. And you really can't work the same intensity, especially if you've got a great defensive ball club. So Maryland in there, and Ryan Randall makes a great play kind of diving in front. You want to try to get the ball into the middle if you're breaking a press. And that's a good shot by Nicholas right there because he had the weak side glass covered with 2 white jerseys. So you'll take a jump shot in a break situation.
Quick 4-0 run for the Terrapins to draw within 3. Out of bounds play, quick 2-on-2. Elder pulls out. What a start for B.J. Elder. He has 6.
We talked about the young guys coming into this environment. B.J. Elder has been on the road before. I think he really had to show them the way here early, and he has done it.
For many Maryland fans will remember Elder here at Maryland last year as the basket goes for Nicholas, and he was popped in the face, it looked like, by Elder. But just to finish that thought, Elder last year as a freshman had 15 here at Maryland.
And it works, believe me. You get success in a building and you bring in confidence. And how about this? A nice little post up for Nicholas. Now, the last thing you want to do in that situation is foul the jump shooter. Elder just got a little aggressive and a lot of strength. I mean, you look at that matchup and say B.J. Elder has the physical advantage, but Nicholas showing a lot right there.
Well, you got to admire Drew Nicholas as a substitution is made, checking in for the first time. The junior college transfer Jamar Smith will take over for Ryan Randall. But Drew Nicholas really waited his turn to become a regular, if you will, with Maryland.
And that was, talk about old school. That's the way it used to be with players waiting 2 or 3 years before they get their starting assignment. He had started 1 game in his first 3 years here at Maryland.
Gave it up to Blake. Did Nicholas. Gilchrist, the freshman from Virginia Beach Salem High School, will reload. Fadeaway tough shot. Muhammad banks it in. Rugged Ismail Muhammad somehow must get home.
I know what happened, and Stephen Blake buried that jumper along the baseline, so the rotation defensively was not good for Maryland, and we talked about it. Make or miss, Georgia Tech is going to push it.
Blocked by Bosch, and now the long ball ahead of the big man. Caught it through the net.
You're asking about my opinion on him being one of the better big men in the league. You don't block many jump shots in the first place and then have the presence of mind to run out after it and finish it. That's a big-time play on both ends of the floor.
It is just remarkable. The freshmen we are seeing not only at Georgia Tech, but all over the Atlantic Coast Conference and in the country. Blocking foul will go against Georgia Tech. Paul Hewitt not happy about that call.
Second one on Elder, I think, and that'll be a big foul for them.
You consider last year, of the 25 high school seniors that played in the McDonald's All-American game, 10 of the 25 were in the Atlantic Coast Conference this season.
Right, and that's how it's been historically. It's almost like now a lot of the schools, North Carolinas, the Dukes, the Marylands, they recruit them. They want to come here. It's not the other way around. And most of these schools don't have a long list of players that they're going after.
But we've seen already this year, whether it be here at Georgia Tech with Bosch and Jack, we've seen Wake Forest a couple of times in their young freshman class. It's amazing.
Right, I think Skip Prosser has done a great job, not recruiting in general, but recruiting the state of North Carolina specifically.
Good one early on, 17-15, Georgia Tech.
Purchase 20 tons of steel for the factory in Milan. Piece of cake. Next. Buy 300 hydraulic assemblies for the Washington factory by Friday. Done. Ooh, best price on titanium discs in Singapore.
Oh, look at this. 4 partners ready to bid. As you bore me.
You guys have any light bulbs?
How many pallets?
Domestic or international?
No, just one.
I can't do one.
He can't do one.
.NET Connected Software helps you connect with partners. That's software for the agile business. From Microsoft.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When monitoring a patient after open heart surgery, the brand of battery hospitals trust most is Duracell. Duracell, trusted everywhere. Still think all batteries are the same? Consider this. When IMAX needed power for their camera, they trusted Duracell. Up there or down here on Earth. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Managing your money just became a lot easier with online banking from Baltimore County Savings Bank. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more, all from the convenience of your home. 24 hours a day. Just open up one of our free, no-hassle checking accounts. Sign up for internet service, and paying bills becomes as simple as a click of the mouse. No checks to write, no envelopes, no stamps to buy. You'll find all this and more when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank.
How safe is your workplace? At IWIF, we provide Maryland employers with workers' compensation insurance, but our passion is assuring that every worker we insure has a safe place to work. That's why we counsel employers on how to prevent accidents and injuries. Safe workplaces and practices do more than save money on premiums. They do more than boost productivity. They save employees from injury, and they even save lives. That's why we're proud to say, safety saves with IWIF.
Take you back to last January. The Terrapins in Yellow Jackets at Alexander Memorial Coliseum. Juan Dixon, a critical steal late, and the pass to Chris Wilcox for a clinching dunk late in the game.
It was a great play. You know, Juan came down with Tony Akins. He snuck behind Tony Akins and stole the ball. And then luckily I was just at half court and I seen him and we had eye contact and he threw it up and I caught it. But we heard it on the bench like, Juan, what are you doing? You know, Coach Williams, Juan, what are you doing? You can't throw that. We got like 10 seconds left on the clock and you're throwing alley-oop. So we heard it, but I mean, it was a great feeling. You know, as long as we got the win, that's all that matters.
And what a game it was, 92-87. Dixon had 26. Lonnie Baxter had 21. Just the beginning of big things to come last year.
That's a big loss for them, Tom. Very athletic, skilled player, obviously. And the guy in the ball game now, number 1, Jamar Smith, they think that he can be that type of player. Not as big as Wilcox, but certainly very athletic and very active.
Jamar Smith attended the same community college, Allegheny, as did Ryan Randall, teammates there 2 years ago. Shencher stepped out of bounds.
You got to try to break through that double team, and instead of going through it, Shencher stepped away from it, had his pivot foot down. Holden did a nice job keeping that double team tight.
Each team has turned it over 3 times. Offensive foul with the forearm will go against Blake. Boy, this Georgia Tech team, and it is Paul Hewitt style, he will just bring waves of players off that bench to get after you and turn up the tempo.
9 guys, and watch the drive to the left. Ismail Mohammed, their best defender on the perimeter, guessed correctly on that play, slid his feet and got the call.
Jack picks up the dribble and travels.
Well, Paul Hewitt knew in the preseason, he talked about getting some Grecian formula and some Rolaids because Jared Jack was going to be a little rough on him this year, but he has a lot of faith in that young man. He's going to be a great point guard, but you're going to have to live with some mistakes early on.
Of course, last year they had the senior Tony Akins, but not nearly the talent around him that Jack has as a freshman this year.
And the thing with Akins, more than anything, his leadership and his three-point shooting ability, they have not been able to replace that.
Blake drains a jumper, and we're tied at 17.
Little run here, a nice play by Maryland. Blake stepping up. Georgia Tech has to retain some composure.
Muhammad, the high-arcing shot. Nelson got the rebound. Blake blocked it. Holden, for a big man, can really shoot it from downtown. A career 45% three-point shooter.
I like Marcus Melvin at NC State. You have to be aware of him. Good call.
You know the story about the acorn?
Yeah.
Boy, the third this year. What a block at the other end. And then Shencher got it back, tipped it up one more time.
Right, you got to give the big guy credit. He didn't finish strongly early on and got it smacked. But he stayed with the play, kept the ball up above his head, and eventually finished.
ACC basketball, the conference opener for both of these schools, and what a game. Bounce pass, contact is made as Holden hits the deck.
Ismail Muhammad with the hard foul inside. But we talked about point guards in this game, and maybe getting overlooked a little bit is John Gilchrist, who made that play. Watch this look inside, just kind of threads it perfectly. And Gary Williams has talked about it. He will have a lineup out there with Gilchrist handling the ball, and Steve Blake will move over to shooter, and it'll free him up to be more of a scorer, and they'll have Drew Nicholas out there as well.
It's always interesting. You bring in a big-time recruiting class like both of these programs did last year. And you look at a guy like Gilchrist, I mean, the two-time Virginia High School Player of the Year, but they had some other guys they thought might have made more of an impact. So far, he's been mighty good.
Travis Garrison was a guy who has gotten some minutes. Kaner Medley, we saw played well early on. It's amazing what going to 2 consecutive Final Fours and winning a championship does for your recruiting. You get out there, you're on a national stage, and all of a sudden you get a call from the University of Maryland, and that gets a lot of people's attention.
Indeed. Williams has done at his alma mater. Took his job in '89. They won 9 games total the year before, and there's another Georgia Tech turnover.
And 2 things there. They've gotten a little rattled over the last 5 minutes against the pressure of Maryland, and Jared Jack is starting to look for some fouls in this situation, and the referees are not going to bail you out here. You've got to play through what you feel is physical contact.
There's Gilchrist getting it up, and it looked like Randall wasn't ready for the pass. Hit him right between the numbers.
He is a very, very confident young man. Saw him yesterday in practice, and is very vocal for somebody his age, a leader in the making. You have to feel that the torch will be passed from Blake to him next year.
Cross-court pass to Bosch, and it rims out. Kaner Medley runs down the rebound.
And that's the pass Georgia Tech needs to make against this defense. The skip pass across the court will get them an open jump shot.
Anthony McHenry, 55, is checked in for the first time for Georgia Tech. And Lewis has come back on as well. Gilchrist, line drive off the mark, and here comes Georgia Tech. 3-on-2 the other way. And knocked out of bounds. Defended beautifully by the freshman Chris McCray, who's just come on.
The Maryland, one of the best shot blockers in the league, and you see it there, and not just from the big people, guards and forwards coming from behind. Number 13, Chris McCray making the play.
He's from Capitol Heights, Maryland, went to Fairmont High School. Good head fake by Lewis. They needed that bucket.
Well, and they need Marvin Lewis to come alive, too. He's 34% on the year, but he's a better three-point shooter than that. They need more options from behind the arc.
That one kicked out of bounds by McHenry, and Georgia Tech will make a substitution. Coming on for the first time and making his first appearance of the season all the way from Stockholm, Sweden, is Jim Meadstrom. They believe he's going to give them quality minutes this year, can really shoot.
Very good defensive player, served an 8-game suspension by the NCAA for his participation in professional games in Sweden. That's the maximum fine that you can get, but they need his offense.
Look at the move to the bucket, but then an off-balance shot by Jamar Smith. They tie it up. Possession arrow gives it back to Maryland. Well, you see both of these coaches, Mike, and you brought it up earlier, really getting a feel, trying to get a feel for the talents and the personalities with a lot of new players in the mix on both sides and or young players.
And different, like we talked about Maryland, the guys who are bench players stepping up into a primary role, and the youth of Georgia Tech. And, it's for a lot of teams in this league, it's going to be a growing process throughout the year. And this is, non-conference aside, and now you get to the meat of the meal right here.
Oh, yeah. Dumped it in down low to Ryan Randall. Forced it up there, defended by Schimpson, got it back, threw it up, and he'll go to the line. Randall will battle. He may not be blessed with the most talent in the world, but you could see it even in his 9 minutes, 10 minutes per game last season, that he was going to give them big minutes this year. He's had 2 enormous games against Indiana, 20 points, 16 rebounds in a rematch of last year's national championship game, and then 18 points, 10 rebounds in a loss to Florida.
We talked about Stephen Blake as a winner. How about this guy? Last 4 years, played for a Texas State title, which he won, a Maryland JUCO title, a national JUCO title, and then an NCAA title last year. He's looking for 5 title games in a row.
We got to get that guy on the broadcast if he doesn't play any next level next year. 23-21, Maryland in front.
Montgomery Brogan is about to discover
He's going to prison for 7 years.
if he can change his whole life in one day. 2 thumbs up for 25th Hour. Remarkable, extraordinary, electrifying, riveting from first frame to last.
This will be the best night of my life.
Edward Norton, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Barry Pepper, Rosario Dawson, Anna Paquin, Brian Cox in a Spike Lee joint. 25th Hour. Certainly one of the finest films of the year. Rated R. Now playing in New York and L.A.
Has that cold settled in your nose and throat?
It's awful.
Then let's erase these distractions and focus on your problem. That's what this new Alka-Seltzer Plus Nose and Throat does. It focuses on all these symptoms. Its concentrated medicine quickly dissolves and is ready to start working instantly, relieving your toughest nose and throat symptoms fast.
Thanks. I feel like myself again.
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Nose and Throat. And now Alka-Seltzer Plus is back in its classic seltzer flavor.
Hey, are you ready for an unbelievable experience? Yeah, you're going where there is no up or down. Introducing Mach 3 Turbo. Total comfort, whether you shave down or up. An anti-friction coating on all 3 blades. Plus a strip with more lubrication, so even against the grain, you get less irritation and the closest shave. Can your razor do this? Mach 3 Turbo. From Gillette, the best a man can get.
His name is Henry, Clay Henry. He's a fireman and a Jared fan from Subway.
He got real big on burgers and fries. Now he's down to smaller size.
Gets his mic from his Veggie Delight. Great taste each day from his local Subway.
Looking and feeling better and enjoying the great taste of Subway's low-fat sweet onion chicken teriyaki. No wonder everyone wants to be more like Clay Henry.
Subway, eat fresh.
Welcome back to ACC Sunday Night Hoops, presented by Staples. That was flashback last year, where Chris Bosh literally stood out on his Dallas Lincoln High School team, which went 40-0 and was deemed national high school champions by numerous news outlets across the country. What a team that was. He went toe-to-toe with Carmelo Anthony of Syracuse last week. What a player Anthony is. Whew.
And I think Jim Boeheim better enjoy him for this year while he can. He may not be there that much longer, but you know, you got the sense that Bosh, a serious student, and he talked about the fact that Paul Hewitt was one of the guys who recruited him who was as concerned about academics as basketball. I think Chris Bosh may be a 4-year player in this league.
Reaching foul by Jamar Smith. Talked about Bosh. He is a National Honor Society student, majoring in computer imaging and graphics at Georgia Tech.
And we interviewed him yesterday, and he said his first semester was all that he could handle as far as the academic side. A little bit tougher than he thought, but he came through it very well.
First try of the season for Nystrom off the mark. A 2-point Maryland lead, 7.5 to go here in the opening half. Georgia Tech pushes ahead. Lewis, cross-court feed from Jack. Throws it up, not there.
Now Maryland, both teams kind of missing at point-blank range. But Georgia Tech has shown the ability to get out to the open floor.
Blake gave it up to Smith, and he is fouled on the way up before the shot. And that will be the 7th team foul against Georgia Tech, so Maryland going back to the free throw line, and the Terps have been there on plenty early on here.
Well, and I think the big thing, Tom, you looked at it, against the loss to Florida here, they only went to the line 11 times in that game, making 4 was a big part of that loss. You can see a concerted effort by Maryland to get down and get into the free throw line and put pressure on Georgia Tech.
Bosh Dangerous cross-court pass. What a feed by Bosch to Ed Nelson for the easy bucket.
The whole package, and you know, Ed Nelson, you look at him, very much a throwback player that plays below the rim, uses positioning and smarts to get his baskets, and did it on that play. Good high-low offense.
Let me forget, we brought up earlier, but Nelson, the ACC's Rookie of the Year last season.
Points in the paint, a bit of a domination. Now, that's skewed a little bit, but you got to take into account almost the 11 free throws as points in the paint because they're getting inside, but no baskets right now.
Jared Jack got a piece of that shot by Nichols, and now Jack gives it up. Nystrom wide open. He said he could shoot it. His first basket at Georgia Tech, and this is his first game.
Well, you saw the bench explode, and Gary Williams wants a timeout right now. But talk about a smile on the face of Paul Hewitt. Jared Jack making a very solid basketball play right there, and Nystrom is wide open as a result.
Good job, baby. 22-1. Let's go. Max up.
You brought up the numerous talents of Chris Bosch, and then how about this pass?
Well, and the steal right there puts them in a number of situations. Jamar Smith making a bad situation. Randall has to step up to the play, and then behind him, Nelson stepping into the void, and you really have to pick your spots on where you go for the steal. That time, Jamar Smith put his team in a bad way defensively.
Bosch came into this one averaging nearly 15 points and a little better than 10 rebounds per game. We brought up earlier the leading rebounder in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Good feed into Nicholas from Tanner Medley. Big first half for Drew Nicholas. At the other end, it's Lewis to lay it in.
Gary Williams is just irate. I mean, you get the good offensive play down the other end. There is absolutely no time for celebration for Maryland after a made basket. They have to immediately convert to defense against Georgia Tech, and they haven't been doing it.
This is the style of play that Paul Hewitt really likes. Good feed underneath by Steve Blake, and Nicholas is going to the free throw line.
Beautiful look, and here you see right there, there's a made basket. Now everybody's got their backs turned. You've got to identify where the play is. A little tough to see right there, but Georgia Tech running out Marvin Lewis, a nice basket on the other end. You know, it's especially important, you look in that situation, that the big guys have to turn around and sprint back to the paint, back to the front of the rim, and then build out their defensive play that way.
Nicholas has scored 12 of Maryland's 26 points, and they get 13 for Drew Nicholas, who averages nearly 18 a game. Nystrom will come back on, replacing Marvin Lewis.
You know, there was some talk a couple of years ago at Maryland of putting Nicholas in the lineup and making Juan Dixon the point guard and putting Stephen Blake on the bench. Well, the results, I think they worked out pretty well, but that's what kind of cut down on his playing time early.
Good defensive stop there on the block from Maryland, and now the Terps a chance to recapture the lead. It's been tight the entire way. Runs for both teams. Really hounding Blake, who beats him on the dribble, gives it up to an open Tanner Medley.
Three balls starting to be a factor in this game for Maryland.
Tanner Medley to Blake, and now he'll slow it down. Away from the ball.
Ed Nelson banging Randall inside.
And that's the kind of call that Paul Hewitt will say, well, come on now. I know we're the road team, but you've got to be kidding.
And especially when your guy, and Paul Hewitt is asking for a hook on that play, but you've got a double team 30 feet from the basket. It was going to be very tough to deliver the ball inside. Ryan
Randall, 3 of 3 from the line. You saw the numbers there, only 6 of 17 from the stripe coming in to the game here tonight.
You take away neither of these teams great free throw shooting team. If you take Drew Nicholas's 88% out of it, Maryland as a team just 60%, and Georgia Tech under 60%.
A big Final Four 15 here for Georgia Tech. Largest lead so far for Maryland, now 4.
They've done such a great job keeping themselves in this game. They can't let it slip away going into the half.
Jack trying to force it in low to Muhammad. The ball kicked by Blake and a fresh 35.
It's just the lesson of a young team, how to finish halves. It's so important, especially, here you think, all right, we've still got a little bit of time, but there's enough time for this game to get out of shape in a hurry.
Muhammad muscles his way to the basket, couldn't get the roll. Holding the rebound for Maryland, under 4 to go here in the opening half. Offensive foul this time will go against Maryland underneath the basket, whistled against Travis Garrison.
Kind of interesting that the senior Randall didn't get that hook, but the freshman Garrison got rung up for it.
Oh yeah, from a guy who's played the ACC, I'm sure you're really excited.
Chicago Bear Brian Urlacher and his mom brought Miss Patel new Campbell's Chunky Herb Roasted Chicken with potatoes and garlic, with big chunks of savory chicken. Filled up right at lunchtime, Miss Patel bravely ended nap time.
You want to go? You want to go, little man? Huh, what do you then? Well, dance, little man, dance. You want to go? You want to go? Well, you're the tackling dummy. Dummy. Am I stuttering? I'm asking one more time. Do you want to go? Mama can't help you now. It's big boy school.
Recess is over. Ray Lewis has his game on. Do you? Madden NFL 2003.
If it's in the game,
EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
America's #1 pregame show is ready to hit primetime. It's Fox NFL Saturday Night.
Saturday night? I do my best work on Saturday night.
It's a television event that can only happen in primetime.
Primetime, baby. I'm ready.
Fox NFL Saturday Night, coming next month.
Winston Cup champion Tony Stewart tries to conquer NASCAR's most legendary track, the Daytona 500, this February, only on Fox.
Welcome back to Comcast Center at College Park, where Maryland leads Georgia Tech 32-28. Coming up at the half, we'll take a look at a second game of our doubleheader, Duke and Dayton, and the final Sunday of regular season play in the NFL. That's coming up at the half. Tom and Mike.
All right, Dwayne, we'll look forward to that. Thank you very much. The Maryland Terrapins with 3:51 to play here in the opening half, lead by 4. Steve Blake and company 32-4 a season ago, 15-1 in winning the Atlantic Coast Conference regular season championship. But gone are Juan Dixon, Lonnie Baxter, Chris Wilcox, and Byron Mouton. And they're trying to find their way early on this year. 3 tough losses to very good teams. Indiana, Notre Dame, and Florida.
Yeah, you look at it, all top 15 teams, and all those games very close.
Jack got it back. Three ball is short. Rebound by Nystrom, and then it's stripped away by Blake. Cross court, Kaner Medley, what a catch and laid it in. Wow.
Really firing up the lane. Stephen Blake held on to that pass for just a count until Kaner Medley could get in a position to finish.
Nystrom. Not there. Nelson the rebound with a jump hook. And in and out. Nicholas on a cross-court feed. Can't finish it. And can't finish it again.
Both teams right now throwing punches that aren't landing. They're getting good opportunities, but nobody's converting.
Blake, too strong. trip here for Georgia Tech, down 6, 2.5 to play. Jack forced it up there and kisses it in.
You know, and a gutsy play right there, especially when you're struggling. I think they need to get the ball in Chris Bosch's hands a little bit more. He hasn't had a touch in a while, and you gotta feed the big fella and keep him happy.
Bosch had 6 points through the first 10 minutes, has been solid here over the last 8. What a spinner!
Cannot let an offensive player flash in front of you 3 feet from the basket.
Just some remarkable plays from first-year players on both sides. Stripped out of there by Holden. Bounce pass into Smith, and he lost the handle. It'll go to Georgia Tech. We talk about first-year players, and that is what Jamar Smith is, a junior college transfer.
Yeah, and but it helps, you know, when first-year players can be finishers, that's a good thing. You want your seniors making the plays, and you've got that in Steve Blake. You know, finishing the play is relatively easy.
Gilchrist comes back on, as does McCray from Maryland, swarming full-court pressure. Nelson gave it up to Neesmith, and he turned it over. 9th turnover of the opening half for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we have not seen a lot of Eastern, but he strikes me more of a standstill shooter rather than a guy who can make the play off the dribble. And I look for Maryland to try to crowd him, not give him open looks, and make him make a play off the deck.
Eastern averaged 11 points per game in that Swedish league we talked about earlier, playing last year against players much older and much more experienced. Gilchrist turned it over. Well, we said it at the 4-minute mark when it was a 4-point spread. Now we have 1:15 to play here in the opening half. And it's a 6-point Maryland lead. A couple of big possessions upcoming for the Rambley West.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing they want is to get this crowd whipped up into a frenzy and get Maryland into a 9-point or double-figure lead.
And then they turn it right over. Blake fires for 3. That would have gotten the crowd into it.
You know, Larry Bird used to go for those killer shots right there, and that's what Blake was trying to do.
Muhammad slashes to the basket, can't get it. Look at Nelson battle, throw it up. Contact, no call, and a rebound to Maryland under 50 seconds to go. Offensive foul on the play. And Gary Williams is lit.
Well, I think Gary Williams is talking about the fact there may have been movement on that play, but I think what got McCray the foul was a little dip of the shoulder. See right there? Yeah, and it was the right arm, too. Came out, you see a look right there, and I think that's what the call was. If McCray had just kind of kept that arm down and continued the dribble, he got called on the push-off. And Muhammad was going laterally to the play.
And Muhammad shook up. He has to leave the game. Another turnover before they even get the ball over half court.
Well, Paul Hewitt was very concerned about the senior Blake against the freshman Jack right now, and Stephen Blake getting the upper hand in that matchup.
5-second differential, game clock and shot clock. That is 11 turnovers now for Georgia Tech here in the first half. Shot clock down to 5, and Blake going to work. Fade away, tough shot, air ball, and a reach-in foul over the back. Silly foul by Maryland. And that'll give Georgia Tech a free chance at the free throw line.
Yeah, and that being said, I think it all started to develop. If you're Steve Blake, you've got to try to hit the lane and make something happen. You can't get a drive and shoot a 20-foot fadeaway jump shot that really doesn't do anybody any good. If you get or try to get into the lane, you can draw defenses, make a play to your big people inside. I think you just bail the defense out by making that play.
Has gone to the free throw line 3 times in the first 8 Georgia Tech games and has not converted a free throw yet. Five seconds to go. Nicholas races the other way. Back past the hole. Broken up, and the buzzer sounds as Holden is screaming that he was fouled on the way up.
has been a very physical game around the basket.
ACC basketball, a very exciting first half. Let's send it court side to Dwayne Ballard.
Coach Williams, your thoughts on a very physical first half?
Well, you know, it's two teams that are really working hard, and so there's going to be a lot of contact, and, you know, you just hope that you can maintain that intensity level for 40 minutes now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Maryland leads at 36-30. Coming up, our halftime show. You're watching ACC Sunday Night Hoops.
This is a message from Force 3. We help people manage their networks. We do it in English, not geek speak. We won't call your current network a legacy system. It's not your legacy. It's not how you'll be remembered. It's just freaking old. It takes more than buzzwords to solve network problems. Look around. Networks are people. Force 3 is a Sun Microsystems iForce partner.
From the earliest moments of our lives, being safe often meant being held back. Now, it also means you're free to go anywhere you want, anytime you want. The electronically controlled all-wheel drive Volvo S60, V70, and XC70.
Experience Volvo all-wheel drive at Annapolis Volvo.
Safety, cleverly disguised as freedom.
Can't make it to Atlanta for the Peach Bowl? Comcast Sportsnet's got you covered. We'll be live from the Georgia Dome New Year's Eve at 7 p.m. Join Chick Hernandez for interviews, features, and more.
We have so much potential. We haven't even come close to reaching it.
Get ready for the game with us. Don't miss the New Year's Eve Bash Peach Bowl Preview Special presented by Herb Gordon Volvo. Fear the Turtle here on Comcast Sportsnet. Get your hoop on for Wizards action all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in to Sports Night before every game for pregame reports. Then when the clock hits 0, stick around for postgame highlights and reaction on Guarantee Residential Lending Wizards Postgame Live. All season long, it's nothing but net on Comcast Sportsnet. Monday night, Wizards and Magic. Coverage starts at 6:30.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Comcast Sportsnet studios. I'm Russ Thaler with this Force 3 ACC at the half report. Lots to get to on this busy NFL Sunday, but we've got to start at the end for a Washington monument. Darrell Green played his 295th and final regular season game with the Washington Redskins today. The 42-year-old cornerback, a cornerstone for the Burgundy and Gold for the past 20 years. Today, a day to say thank you and to beat the Cowboys. Yeah, it was indeed Darrell's day. Pre-game festivities included an induction into the FedEx Ring of Fame and a few special moments with longtime Cowboy Emmitt Smith.
No, might be mine too.
Yeah, could be Emmitt Smith's last game as well. Who knows? We got a ball game to play, though. Second quarter, no score. Chad Hutchinson gets drilled by Ronaldo Wynn. LeVar Arrington recovers the fumble, and 4 plays later, first and goal, it's Kenny Watson taking it in from 5 yards out. His first career touchdown run. Skins up 7-0. A little later, Dallas forced a punt. Champ Bailey back to receive, but Champ is going to hand this thing off to, guess who? Darrell Green. And look at number 28 go. Like Chicago in '88. 30 yards on the reverse, and the old fella is getting it done. Later in the possession, it's Liddell Betts, bruising running back out of the University of Iowa, off to the races. 26 yards into the end zone, but he fumbles at the goal line. The play is reviewed, and it's no touchdown. Instead, a touchback for the Cowboys. Just before the half, Skins driving, Patrick Ramsey picked off by Roy Williams. One of 5 Redskins turnovers on the day, and Williams is gone. 85 yards down the sideline for a touchdown. His second INT return for a TD against the Skins this year. And we're tied at 7. Dave Campo trying to hold on to his job. but probably won't happen. Third quarter, still tied at 7. Hutchinson gets rocked by Bruce Smith, and here comes LeVar, recovering his second fumble of the day. This one's a touchdown, 14-7 Skins, and Campo a little less exuberant than the last time we saw him. Fourth quarter, 17-7 Washington. Hutchinson finds Antonio Bryant, but Ifeanyi Ohalete pops it out. Jesse Armstead recovers. Skins go on to win 20-14, break the long losing streak, and Darrell Green taking time after the game to mix it up with the fans. The numbers a bit misleading for the Redskins, at least offensively, because there were so many drop passes and missed opportunities. LeVar Arrington was a stud on defense, a sack, 4 tackles, couple of fumble recoveries. Darrell Green finishes with 1 tackle on special teams and 35 return yards. Skins pick it up, their first win over Dallas since October 13th, 1997. We are just getting started here on Force 3 ACC at the half. We'll see how the Ravens fared in their bid to make the postseason when we get back.
This game is brought to you by Subway. For lunch, dinner, or while you're watching the game, there's a sub that will satisfy your desire for great taste at Subway. Eat Subway, eat fresh.
His name is Henry, Clay Henry. He's a fireman and a Jared fan from Subway.
He got real big on burgers and fries. Now he's down to a smaller size.
Gets his mic from his vegetarian like great taste each day from his local Subway.
Looking and feeling better and enjoying the great taste of Subway's low-fat sweet onion chicken teriyaki. No wonder everyone wants to be more like Clay Henry.
Subway, eat fresh.
Hard work and accountability. That's what you expect from your community bank. At First Mariner Bank, we work hard every day to give you our best. Whether it's absolutely free checking, online banking, statewide ATMs, or home equity loans, you have my word that First Mariner will always be a little better than the rest. That's just the way it is. We do a little more, a little better every day because we built this bank for you.
Just for you. First Mariner Bank.
Thinking BMW? The time is now. The place is BMW of Towson. BMW of Towson, with the Mid-Atlantic's largest BMW inventory, puts the cost of driving that new 2003 BMW at less than you'd expect. Like this sporty new 03 X5 SAV all-wheel drive. Lease at just $483 a month, including all maintenance.
BMW of Towson, putting more people in BMWs than anyone.
It's your turn. Just off Beltway exit 26A right at West Road, just 22 minutes from Columbia.
There's no such thing as too much of a good thing. More highlights, more interviews.
My body's kind of gotten adjusted to playing basketball again.
More features, more of what you want. Starting the minute you wake up. Open your eyes to Sports Rise every morning from 6 to 9. Forget the snooze button. Your dreams have come true. Sports Rise every morning only on Comcast Sportsnet.
In tight corners with Bondra to Yager right on it.
After every past game, Comcast Sportsnet is the place to be. The hardest hits, the greatest saves, the most exciting moments, matched up with interviews and expert analysis. Wrap up the action with the Comcast Sportsnet crew on Sports Night after every game. It's Capital Financial Partners Caps Postgame Live. Caps intensity happens here. Every day is game day on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back, everybody, to Force 3 ACC at the half. After Kansas City's loss yesterday in Oakland, the Baltimore Ravens were down to needing just 6 things to happen in order for them to qualify for the postseason. One of them, of course, was to win their regular season finale in Pittsburgh. That happened today. Long shot for the playoffs or not. Coach Billick still like to spoil the Steelers with a loss. First quarter, Jeff Blake looking for the early lead, but Deshae Townsend, not on my watch, he says. Tommy Maddox on the ensuing drive, play action pass to Hines Ward, hauling it in and then lunging for the pylon. He gets there, 7-0 early for the Steelers. Ravens coming back. Blake to Randy Himes, goes up for the big grab and then takes off. 43 yards total on the play, sets up this. Jamal Lewis from the 6. Has it and then loses it over the goal line, but fullback Alan Ricard gets on it, and that's a touchdown. Ravens tied up. Later in the second, Steelers up 3 after a field goal and looking for more. 3rd and goal from the 6. Maddox rolling, but Chad Williams grabs the face mask, and that is a big no-no. Steelers with a new set of downs. I give it to famous Amos Zaraway, rolling through the middle, 17-7 Steelers. The Ravens still ticking, especially this guy, Jamal Lewis. Down the left sideline, 25 yards on the gain, leads to an Alan Ricard 6-yard touchdown, closing the gap by 7. Now in the third, Steelers still up by 3. Blake, little play fake over the top to a leaping Todd Heap for 21. Sets up this next play. Blake looking for a leaping Heap again. This reception is 31 yards and 6 points. Ravens putting the Ravens up 24-20. Early in the fourth, after an Anthony Mitchell interception, Blake throws over the middle to Chester Taylor. That's a touchdown, and it's an 11-point lead for Baltimore. Steelers not saying die in this game, no. 31-26 at this point. Maddox rolling out under pressure. Antoine Randall L comes up with it after a conversion. Steelers lead 34-31. Ravens with a last shot. Blake floating it into the end zone, into double coverage. Dwayne Washington picks it off, and your final 34-31 Steelers end the Ravens season. More to come on Force 3 ACC at the half after a quick timeout. We'll be back.
We share a passion for Luna de Luna wine.
The variety.
The color, the
Taste.
Join me for a glass?
I'm married.
Me too.
Luna de Luna. Get some.
Hon, we gotta shop together more often.
How safe is your workplace? At IWIF, we provide Maryland employers with workers' compensation insurance, but our passion is assuring that every worker we insure has a safe place to work. That's why we counsel employers on how to prevent accidents and injuries. Safe workplaces and practices do more than save money on premiums. They do more than boost productivity. They save employees from injury, and they even save lives. That's why we're proud to say, safety saves with IWIF.
This is the sign that sells. Craig Northrup and the Northrup team, Maryland's #1 realtor. Take a virtual home tour at onemdrealestate.com. Imagine home buyers visiting your home online. Let Maryland's #1 real estate team work for you. The proof is in the numbers. The Northrop team sells a home every day. Ready to sell? You're right where you need to be. Craig Northrup and the Northrop team. Log on or call today.
If you're planning to purchase a new car, boat, RV, or if you want to make home improvements, Baltimore County Savings Bank can help you make it happen. With a variety of financing plans, we are sure you will find one suited to meet your needs. And as always, we fully explain the loan transaction, so you will know you made the right decision. You'll get more from your bank when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank, locally owned and operated and growing to meet your needs.
0% 60-month GM financing is back now during JBA Chevrolet's year-end countdown. You'll get 0% financing or rebates and discounts up to $8,000. Plus at JBA, you'll need no out-of-pocket cash. You'll find prices and payments clearly marked. No negotiations necessary. And JBA will pay off your trade no matter what you owe. There will never, ever be a better time to buy. Hurry to the JBA year-end countdown and save thousands before time runs out. JBA, the Chevrolet Superstore. Glen Burnie.
We share a passion for Luna de Luna wine.
The variety.
The color, the
Taste.
Join me for a glass?
I'm married.
Me too.
Luna de Luna. Get some.
Hon, we gotta shop together more often.
New Year's Day, Caps and Coyotes at 3 p.m. right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. Cleveland keeps its playoff hopes alive with a win over Atlanta. The Falcons get in anyway because the Saints suffer an embarrassing loss to Carolina in New Orleans. The defending champs refuse to go quietly, coming from behind to beat the Dolphins in Foxborough. Their postseason hopes are still alive. Elsewhere, the Jets leading the Packers 35-10 in the fourth. That has a lot to do with who else is going to make it into the playoffs in the AFC. Titans clinched the 2 seed in the AFC with a win over the Texans, and the Chargers leading the Seahawks in the fourth in a game that really doesn't matter to anyone but people in San Diego or Seattle. That's going to wrap up this Force 3 ACC at the half report. After the break, we'll head back out to the Comcast Center for the second half between the Maryland Terrapins and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Maryland up by 6 at the break.
From the earliest moments of our lives, being safe often meant being held back. Now, it also means you're free to go anywhere you want, anytime you want. The electronically controlled all-wheel drive Volvo S60, V70, and XC70.
Experience Volvo all-wheel drive at Annapolis Volvo.
Safety, cleverly disguised as freedom.
It's the Hyundai Win-Win Year-End Event, where you can save thousands over a comparable Honda or Toyota because you win with cash back on 2002 and 2003 models, like $1,000 back on a 2003 Hyundai Elantra, and win with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. But this event ends January 5th, so hurry. Win with cash back, win with America's best warranty. With Hyundai, you win. Now get cash back and zero money down and zero payments for 90 days.
That eats like a meal. Welcome back to College Park in the Comcast Center alongside Mike Jaminski and our entire crew. I'm Tom Brenneman. A wild first half of the conference opener for both teams.
Well, and whoever said the ACC wasn't a physical conference,
right.
Two points were tough to come by, but I thought it was very consistent on both sides of the floor. And Stephen Blake, we talked about the senior, has gotten it going here early, helping that out offensively. He was aggressive, 4 points there, knocking down a couple of shots. Then he was able to get his teammates involved, 4 assists as well, pushing it up on the break. Very aggressive, terrific catch by Kaner Medley on that play. And Maryland, after being in an early hole, were able to dig themselves out. This is the key stat right there. 12 of 14 from the line, only 1 of 3 for Georgia Tech. And Tom, turnovers also an issue. Tech with 11 in that half. They've got to do a better job against pressure.
And Maryland picking up right where it left off defensively. And an early turnover just like that. Number 12 for Georgia Tech in the game. Their last 4 possessions, they turned it over.
Specifically, you look at where it's coming from. Jarrett Jack had 5 turns in that first half. I thought they did a little too much dribbling against the pressure. They've got to do some more passing against Maryland.
Ryan Randall, Garrison the rebound. And Travis stuck it in, his first basket of the game.
If you're Georgia Tech, I think you've got to get Chris Bosh involved. He only had 4 shots in 16 minutes in that half.
Nice hook by Shenshire. That's indefensible if he catches it down there.
Well, and the thing that Randall did, if you're going to play behind, you better somehow move that player out 2 or 3 feet away from his comfort zone. If Shenshire catches it there, that's prime real estate.
6-point lead for Maryland in the ACC opener for both these schools. Good bounce pass to Elder. Contact and a whistle and a foul will be hung on Travis Garrison. Let's go courtside to Dwayne Ballin, who caught up with Paul Hewitt a moment ago.
Tom and Mike, Coach Hewitt told me that he simply wants them to handle the pressure better. Be careful in transition. He's not overly concerned. He thinks this is really a good ballgame.
All right, Dwayne, thank you very much.
This guy at the free throw line, you see a little change of attitude against the pressure, the back door by Elder, but he only played 10 minutes in that first half after foul trouble, and they need him to stay in the game in the second 20.
It bears repeating, and we touched on it very quickly in the wild action of the opening half. Calvin McCall, the senior from Orlando, who had 11 points against UMBC 3 nights ago, unavailable, turned his ankle in practice yesterday.
Really came down on it pretty badly, too. He was writhing in pain for about 5 minutes before they could resume practice. A lot of times the coach will call it off after something like that happens. You get that bad voodoo in the air, and you don't want to get anybody else hurt.
Four-point game just underway in the second half. Nicholas, 13 first-half points, and Loda Randall. Shot clock.
Yes, if you're Maryland, you want to go right at Chris Bosh. You want to bang with him and take the play right to him.
Rejected by Holden, and then Elder hustles the other way.
Underthrew his receiver. He had Nicholas on the post pattern.
Bosh, little 15-footer, and it's good for the big man.
Yeah, he may have to, and he can make that shot, and if Bosh isn't receiving the ball on the low block, he may have to step away from the basket to make plays for himself.
You know, Mike, we saw him isolate Bosh down low early in the first half, very early in that first half. None of that ever since.
No, and they really went away from him.
3 ball for Nicholas. He has 16. free throw line.
And that's not a bad play. And he's struggling from the field right now. Up at Syracuse, 1 of 8 in that game. First half, 1 of 4. When you're in that type of situation, you've got to put your head down and make something happen at the rim, get to the free throw line, and find some rhythm there.
Jared Jack. Now with 4 points in the game, 2 of 3 from the free throw line.
Still in the ticket crunch from Fort Washington, Maryland, so a homecoming for him. He's got about 20, 25 people here. And that's always, I mean, you think about it, it's your first ACC road game, and you got to worry about, you're the ticket broker as well, filling out the envelopes and making sure everybody's got good seats.
Kayla Medley, a tough catch on a feed from Randall. And then Shencher altered the shot. Great position by Fox. And great awareness by Jack to get it to him.
Yeah, he had Holden on his back down low, and that's the ability of the big fella to get out and run. You run right to the front of the rim and pin the man. That is just beautiful offense right there. Nothing that Holden can do. Probably should have just let him have the layup and not given him the three-point play opportunity, or really hammered him and sent him to the line for 2.
First trip to the line for Bosch, who struggled there this year. Continues to struggle there. Now 42 of 66.
And isn't it amazing? If we get a shot at this end of the Comcast Center, it is a wall of students on the opposing team's basket in the second half. You don't think that just sort of happened, do you?
No. They were trying to, emulate, and they'll be the first to tell you Duke a little bit. They said they wanted to give the first 6 rows around the entire floor to the students.
But it's tough. You lose a little perspective there, but those stands go straight up. If you get a little vertigo, you may have trouble getting up to the top of the arena. But it is literally a wall of students. Great planning of the building.
Randall rejected by Bosch. Muhammad the other way, caught from behind by Nicholas, who tried to save it, but it's out of bounds. Here's a look at those seats from the top.
I walked up and sat about 2/3 of the way up there, and you really feel like you're going to have to grab onto the rail when you're looking up for a game. But really not a bad seat in this place, a well-designed building.
That's the one area of this building that reminds me anyway of Full Fieldhouse. Dribbles to the basket, kicks it off to Jack, then a head fake by Lewis, and drains the 17-footer.
He got to close out under control, and that time Nicholas went flying by him.
Whistle will go against Georgia Tech. Muhammad late getting back at the other end, and Nicholas going to the free throw line to try and add to his 16-point total so far.
And Maryland taking a page out of Georgia Tech's playbook right there. The made field goal at one end, and Maryland pushing it up the floor. Drew Nicholas getting to the rim.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a banner senior season for Nicholas out of Hempstead, New York. The leading scorer for the Terrapins at 17 per game, at 10 double-figure scoring efforts last year, and he is a perfect 7 of 7 from the line.
Yeah, he's 88% rock solid. You get the ball in his hands at the end of the game, but you figure, when you look at it, Tom, had never averaged double figures in his entire career here, and then now to see him blossom. You talked about the patience and waiting your turn.
Not there, but Bosch the rebound, contact, no whistle, he banks it in.
Georgia Tech early in the first half did a great job on the offensive glass, and Cincher, because you get the shot up there softly, you get a little short rebound, and Bosch was able to collect it.
Pick and roll, Blake to Randall.
Well, we're seeing some good post play by both teams.
Short on the 3, Jack the rebound, a fresh 35 for the Ramblin' Wreck, down 4. Bosch to the basket, got it. Bump, no call, Shencher tips it in. Boy, Bosch got mugged.
Yeah, he got hammered pretty hard. Because, it's tough for if you're Paul Hewitt, you're really in a deficit from the free throw standpoint, so you may have a gripe, but they've been very consistent on both ends.
And contact there and no call. Muhammad, one man to beat. And coming over the back, will it be against Holden? It is. And for Holden, that's number 3. This is shaping up to be a good ball game.
Right, if you're Paul Hewitt, you're happy you're this close on the road, but Chris Bosch showing his stuff here early, getting on the rim.
This is a message from Force 3. We help people manage their networks. We do it in English, not geek speak. Our GSA schedule is big, not robust. Wine is robust. Xena the Warrior Princess is robust. It takes more than buzzwords to solve network problems. Look around. Networks are people. Force 3 is a Sun Microsystems iForce partner.
Stackhouse. Stackhouse. Jerry Stackhouse.
Please welcome NBA All-Star Jerry Stackhouse.
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it?
Stackhouse. Scores! It's going to be close. I think it will. I think it will. They'll look at it again, but I think it will.
Wednesday, celebrate the new year with hard-hitting NHL action. Jaromir Jagr and the Caps hit the ice at 3 p.m., taking on the Phoenix Coyotes. Every day is game day right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Speed.
2-point game, 15-19 to go here at College Park. Flashback to one of Juan Dixon's greatest ACC performances 2 years ago at Cole Fieldhouse against Georgia Tech. Scored a career-high 33, 4 of 5 from three-point land. Dixon and the Terrapins that year advancing to the Final Four, losing in the national semifinal to conference rival Duke.
Well, and you think about it, Tom, that people remember Juan Dixon, top 50 player of the year, winning out in a championship in his last game. But when he first came to Maryland, he was a redshirt and then only averaged 7 points in his freshman year. He was not a heralded recruit, really made himself a great player.
Wound up Maryland's all-time scoring leader, 2,269 points. What a block by Marvin Lewis. Just knocked it out of the hands of Jamar Smith. Now Georgia Tech a chance to tie or take the lead. They want Schencher down on the block. Defended by Smith. Left hand goes and he hits to the line.
Luke Schencher has been a force in this game. Second consecutive double-figure effort for him. He had 10 points up at Syracuse, 10 points here tonight. I think Maryland's going to have to start respecting the big fella a little bit more here. Maybe start fronting him a little bit. Not only that, you see those, and he hasn't really gotten credit for a blocked shot in this game, but he has been a presence inside. He's altered a lot of shots at the rim for Maryland.
And that's his first converted free throw on the year for Schencher in 5 attempts, and it's a 1-point Ramblin' Wreck lead on the road. Smith just put his head down, contact made, and that'll be against Chris Bosch. And that will be his 3rd personal foul. Or is it number 2? We'll see. It is his 2nd. John Gilchrist now running the point for Maryland. Nicholas working on Muhammad. Mike brought up earlier, Ishmael, their top defender, and he's locked up now with Nicholas. 3 ball off the mark. Schencher another rebound, closing in on a double-double.
And Blake Blake got a little frustrated right there. Nothing happening out of the offense for Maryland.
Nicholas will run down the rebound and a missed try by Muhammad. 14 to go here in College Park.
The swing of the basketball from the strong side to the weak side.
And then Jack at the other end.
You know, I think he feels a little bit more comfortable in this situation, matched up against another freshman. He and Gilchrist going at it as opposed to going at it toe-to-toe with Steve Blake.
Whistle away from the ball as Muhammad hits the deck. You never remember, Ishmael had to leave the first half with an injury. May have slipped on the floor.
And his presence right now, it's a fourth foul for him, and that's a big foul with it's actually on Lewis. But they need Muhammad out there to guard Nicholas. He's their best defender. He just got whacked by Randall.
Yeah, that's no slip on the floor. That's a slip into the side of the pillar. On the inbounds pass, Randall somehow got loose, got the rebound, and puts it in.
Good second effort by Ryan Randall, even with Shencher looming in front of him.
I think a timeout was called by Paul Hewitt. It was. .52-50, Maryland in front. 13:08 to play here in College Park. And one of the all-time Ramblin' Wreck greats has news for the Terps tonight.
We don't fear the Turtles. Not Georgia Tech, Ramblin' Wreck. We look good this year, too. We got great freshman class coming in. So the whole ACC better watch out for Ramblin' Wreck.
My son Brian and I are making sure everyone in Chicago is eating good.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, thanks. You need some nice, hot, chunky soup to fill you up right.
Introducing Campbell's Chunky Herb Roasted Chicken with potatoes and garlic. Big chunks of savory roasted chicken and loads of veggies.
Are you a good player?
He's a great player. Do you want to see?
Duck, duck, goose.
New Campbell's Chunky Roasted Favorites fill you up right.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When the Rocky Mountain Rescue Group needs light to save lives, they trust Duracell. Out there or right here at home. Duracell, trusted everywhere. Still think all batteries are the same? Consider this. When monitoring a patient after open heart surgery, the brand of battery hospitals trust most is Duracell. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Do you want to go?
Want to go? You want to go? Bring it, Chumpzilla.
You couldn't tackle me in a phone booth. You couldn't see me with a telescope.
You want a piece of this, old man?
Cry, little boy, cry, cry. You ain't ready for me. You getting crazy. Think you can beat the bus? You feeling me?
I'm feeling you. Looks like the NFL has its game on, do you? Madden NFL 2003.
If it's in the game.
EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
Good one here tonight from College Park. Maryland 52-50. Stay tuned, because coming up next, Game 2 of our doubleheader. The Dayton Flyers go to Durham and Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on the Blue Devils of Duke. Coverage begins right after our game right here on Fox Sports Net. And the dynamic Blue Devil duo of Dante Jones and Chris Duhon. Duhon, by the way, the cousin of Jared Jack.
Duhon having a great season, leading the team in assists. And I thought Dante Jones would have a big advantage this year as a fifth-year senior, just from a strength advantage over a very young league in general. And that's paying dividends for him as he's tied for the team lead in scoring.
Isolation play, Muhammad. And and he goes up, draws contact. They had him isolated down low on the freshman Gilchrist. And Muhammad, not very tall, but man, is he put together. 6'6", 228.
Yeah, and very solid, and it's a good job to isolate him and recognize that he has a strength advantage down on the low block and let him go to work.
They gave that call to McCray, who reached in, trying to help out Gilchrist. McCray's second foul.
You know, not only is he good on the post, but a very good offensive rebounder coming into this game, almost half of his 43 boards on the offensive glass, so you really got to concentrate on him off the play.
He had 15 points as well right here at Maryland last year in the Georgia Tech loss. A one-point game. Little pitch and catch with Randall, who forced it up there. Tough shot. And a rebound at Georgia Tech, a chance to take the lead.
And Nelson's got the bulk to keep Randall from backing him down in that situation. He forced him into a wild hook shot.
Well, very quiet here in College Park. Forced pass there by Jack. Not a good pass by the freshman. McCray forced away from the basket. Bosch battles for the rebound. Randall got it. Stuck it in. 8-second half points for Ryan Randall.
Well, and even that, you can see the Maryland bench waving everybody to get back after a made basket. But all the white jerseys have compressed Georgia Tech along the baseline. They're playing volleyball in front of the rim.
Gilchrist defending the ball from getting into the hands of Jack. I'm not sure what the call was. Did they get a timeout? Gary Williams wanted a 5-second violation. 30-second timeout, Georgia Tech. 11:54 here to play at the sparkling new Comcast Center in College Park, Maryland. A conference opener, ACC Sunday Night Hoops. Alongside Mike Jaminski, Dwayne Ballin, and our entire Fox Sports Net crew, I'm Tom Brenneman. And what a way to begin conference play in this building.
And that's exactly what the call was, that Paul Hewitt saw that his guard was hung up away from the basket, and he saw that count was going on. He came in and called a 30-second timeout to kind of regroup. And this is, you know, what you're looking for. Paul Hewitt's looking for 5 minutes to go in the game to have a chance to win. Massage it right till the end. And he knows that this is a tenuous part of the game right here.
Nystrom, they have had it deflected. And Ryan Randall has come up big here in the second half for the Terrapins so far. He did not have a field goal in the first half. He has 4 of them here in the second.
And you know, the carryover, I thought he had the best practice of anybody yesterday, and it's shown up here in the game.
Jamar Smith. Little fadeaway 10-footer over the smaller Muhammad. Jack the other way, and a blocking foul will go against Maryland.
And I think, you know, this is the maturation process of a guard, and Paul Hewitt is going to talk with Jared Jack and make sure that he doesn't get in a hurry to try to do too much for his ball club here.
Timeout on the floor, 11:19 to play. 56-51. You're watching ACC Sunday Night Hoops.
I am recruiting you.
The CIA.
Would I have to kill anyone? Would you like to?
His job was to recruit the best.
Why me? You're agile, athletic.
Now,
She's a mole. Find out who she's working for.
he will bring him into a secret world
You can't trust anyone.
where nothing is what it seems. Al Pacino,
If you are caught, you're dead.
Colin Farrell, the recruit.
Some of you will not survive the final test.
Rated PG-13. See you January 31st.
Just play.
Live. Go freestyle. Get live. NBA Live 2003. Rated rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Life is full of difficult choices, and some not so difficult. When you purchase an elegantly redesigned mid-size 2003 Saturn L Series, you can choose $2,500 toward your down payment. Or get 0% financing, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. Unfortunately, this not-so-difficult choice ends January 2nd. Purchase a 2003 Saturn L Series and get $2,500 toward down payment. Or 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 monthly payment for 90 days. See participating retailer for restrictions.
His name is Henry, Clay Henry. He's a fireman and a Jared man from Subway.
He got real big on burgers and fries. Now he's down to smaller size.
Gets his mic from his veggie delight. Great taste each day from his local Subway.
Looking and feeling better and enjoying the great taste of Subway's low-fat sweet onion chicken teriyaki. No wonder everyone wants to be more like Clay Henry.
Subway, eat fresh.
Maryland leads by 5 this January. Fox Sports Net introduces 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the only show that takes you inside the world of extreme sports. Premiering weeknights this January only on Fox Sports Net. Check it out. And if you get a chance to get in the College Park, Maryland area, you might want to check out the Comcast Center. For more on that, let's go to Dwayne Ballard.
Tom and Mike, the Comcast Center opened this fall. $125 million to cost. 440,000 square feet, twice the size of old Coldfield House. You see prominently displayed in the lobby the hardware from last spring's national championship. It houses all the athletic administrative offices, new locker rooms, a players' lounge, 20 luxury seats, 37 restrooms as opposed to the 4 they had at Cole. You know, Tom, I don't know how Mike and players of his era ever were able to function without facilities like this.
It really is amazing.
We had nails on the wall to put our coats on. It's just not the same.
No, that was a Boston Garden.
Only that Georgia Tech had done a decent job. Only the 3rd turnover of the half for them after 11 in the first half.
Randall forced that one, and Nelson got the rebound and then fell over and whistled for travel.
The automatic travel call, and the guy hits the deck. Nelson did a good job of getting on the glass, but just didn't have a solid base to land on.
McCray teasing the crowd by bluffing that 3 from 35 feet out. Gilchrist to the basket, lost one in the air and a little bit short, but McCray runs down the rebound, and what a feat!
What did you talk about these guys not playing like freshmen? Incredible look. Crowd into it now.
Silences the crowd here in College Park with a big bucket.
He's just made such an improvement from last year and had a pretty solid freshman year anyway.
Nicholas forced it up there, but got it back. And then a feeble run. Scramble for the ball, and here comes Georgia Tech. Nelson, the catch, rejected.
It's a man's game out there tonight in the paint.
And look at big Ryan Randall headed back to the Maryland bench. And a big round of applause for him, and why not? See, 14 blocks in the game.
Ryan Randall. And a lot of those, Tom, haven't been traditional blocks. You have guys chasing down the break and coming from behind to get layups.
5-point lead, under 10 to go. Wild cross-court pass and a turnover by Gilchrist.
Let's see how long Gary Williams goes with life without Steve Blake out on the floor.
11th turnover of the game for the Terrapins. Georgia Tech turned it over 11 times in the first half and only 4 here in the second. Muhammad spin move into the lane, rejected by Holt. Shenser is tipping the ball and lays it in. What a game for Luke Shenser.
You do not have to be a great leaper if you keep the ball over your head and you're 7 feet tall. He does a good job of not bringing it down into the play of the guards.
Three-point game as Jack will go to the bench. Blake comes back on. The Mike Jaminski G plan before the game.
You know, Georgia Tech came out strong. They got their confidence, and they feel like they're in this game, a three-point game. They've done a good job inside. Maryland, pretty good job handling the basketball, and you see building deep from the paint. So everything, both teams getting it done, and that's why you see a very close game. They want to get done what they wanted to do, and you know, right now, if you're Maryland, I think the thing that you haven't done in this half is get to the free throw line. Only 2 free throw attempts in this game, or in the second half.
14 times for the first 20 minutes. Under 9 to go. Blake gives it up to Randall for holding Randall.
When you run screen roll with Todd Holden up top, you better keep somebody at home from him. He's got the ability to knock that shot down.
Spencer had it blocked by Holden. Nicholas gives it up to Tanner Medley, and he loses as Elder strips it away. Takes the pass, and BJ puts it in. And a timeout is called.
It's like a referee's timeout. Anthony McHenry slow getting up on that play. They're going to be chalk lines out on the floor at the end of this game. Here's the play, and this time Elder did a better job. Instead of trying to carry it all the way to the rim, Holden in good position, shoot the little floater right in front of the rim. That's a tough shot coming down off the dribble. The sophomore knocking it down.
And a big bucket it was for Georgia Tech. But you trim the lead down to 4 with 8:08 to go. Blake, nice feed to Tanner Medley. Can't finish. The kick goes in. Smith.
We talked about responding physically. Georgia Tech's getting a little overwhelmed in the last 2 or 3 minutes. But they have had an answer. They've responded to every charge that Maryland has made.
And Elder's the guy who's stepping up.
And he's the guy every time. Just when it looks like Maryland is going to extend the lead and grab this game by the throat, B.J. Elder comes in and reels it back in for Georgia Tech.
7:30 to go in College Park. Blake up top. Holden caught it, came down with the ball, and no whistle at all.
It's got to be 3 seconds, if anything.
Well, now that is an odd call. Paul Hewitt is saying, wait a minute now. A guy catches the ball. It should be either 3 seconds or at the minimum travel.
Yeah, and he didn't move or go up. So that's what Paul Hewitt is saying right now. There was no whistle to stop the play. And he was down in the paint for at least 3 seconds. He hit the deck. I think he was shaken up. He couldn't make a play. He went down very hard. That's got to be a travel. It's almost the same call that Ed Nelson had the time before in the rebound. So he's down. I mean, he is really hurt. You see the play right here and watch him follow into the lane. Good lob. Now both he and Bosch are trying to make a play on the ball. Spencer just stand there. Everybody's looking at him. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003.
That's a big break right there for Maryland. And then a foul by Holden going for the ball. Elder stepped in there to knock it away. Not an inbounds, good inbounds pass at all there by Drew Nichols.
Elder he was really crafty that time. He made it look like there was an opening, and it was a poor lob pass. That's 4 personal fouls on Holden.
Holden a couple of baskets, but both of them from downtown. Has 9 points in the game. And now Elder, who has 3 straight Georgia Tech baskets to the free throw line.
This is a place where he normally does not go. He's a jump shooter on the outside. Tom, coming into this game, only 10 free throw attempts in 7 games. I mean, not a lot, but he's gotten there 4 times already tonight.
Got them both. Timeout on the floor. Game is on here in the ACC opener, the first ever conference game of the Comcast Center. And a battle through the first 13 minutes. It's a 2-point Maryland lead.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When monitoring a patient after open heart surgery, the brand of battery hospitals trust most is Duracell. Duracell, trusted everywhere. Still think all batteries are the same? Consider this. When IMAX needed power for their camera, they trusted Duracell. Up there or down here on Earth. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Live.
Display.
Go freestyle. Get live. Yeah. NBA Live 2003. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
There's something wonderful about a hamburger. It's one of the few things that brings so much joy. Made fresh, hot off the grill, all juicy and delicious with fresh toppings so it tastes great. It lifts your spirits and makes everything okay. That's the kind of hamburger we make. Wendy's Classic Double with cheese. It's better here. And our pickup window's open till midnight or later, so you can eat great even late.
Announcing the certified pre-owned BMW Gala going on now at Maryland's newest automotive landmark, BMW of Towson, during their year-end BMW sale. With hundreds of certified pre-owned BMWs, 1.9% financing available, and we'll make your first payment.
Come see our great selection of BMWs at the grand opening of the all-new BMW of Towson.
Just 18 minutes from downtown Baltimore. BMW of Towson, putting more people in BMWs than anyone. It's your turn.
America's #1 pregame show is taking its act to prime time. Yes, indeed. Saturday, January 18th. It's Fox NFL Saturday night. JB, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, along with Jillian and Jimmy Kimmel, grab the spotlight. Should be an entertaining hour. Fox NFL Saturday night, January 18th, only on Fox. Take a look at our Subway game summary. 2-point spread.
Georgia Tech only 12 of those points in the second half, so Maryland a better job there. Points off turnovers. Nicholas, you see an ACC career high. But let's see from Maryland if Stephen Blake starts to get involved here offensively, because you got Gilchrist at the point. Blake has not scored in this half. Still stuck on 4, although he has 3 assists. But I think they need him to be more aggressive. And Lewis is guarding him, who's got 4 personal fouls.
Blake with the ball. Trying to get Randall on Shincher down the block. They get it to him. And it's stripped away by Bosch. And Randall flexing that shoulder. Randall's hurt.
Shincher got caught a little out of position that time. Bosch came in and bailed him out.
And then an offensive foul on Ryan Randall. Only a second. This is a huge trip down the floor now for Georgia Tech.
And anytime you're a big man and you bury that shoulder, you're going to get the call. Jared Jack coming over and giving up his body. If you watch the shoulder go right into Jack, you're going to get that call every time, especially against a smaller player.
Shincher handled by Randall, who has 2 fouls. And a turnover.
You really have to be careful against Maryland with those flat lateral passes. Drew Nicholas just waiting on the play and shooting the gap.
It's got to be so strange for Blake to be anything else but the point guard. When Gilchrist comes into the game, Blake becomes almost like the 2 guard with Nicholas moving to the 3-man.
No question. And again, if you're Gary Williams, you're grooming Gilchrist to take that position. And then, if you're Stephen Blake, it's not bad either. And you get a chance to shoot the basketball, so it expands his role.
Randall, and he'll go to the line. 12 second half points for the senior out of Duncanville, Texas.
He's established his career high 4 times already this year, and Schenscher really got caught in no man's land. There was nothing that Jack could do that time, and all he can do is kind of stand there helplessly and get his hands up.
Ryan Randall shooting 1.
Ryan Randall averaged 3 points, 3 rebounds in just under 10 minutes per game last year. This season, nearly 14 points and almost 8 rebounds.
That's not a bad play. Watch it down the stretch. We talked about his free throw shooting, 35% coming in. Georgia Tech needs to foul him hard in that situation, put him on the line.
How about that 3 by Lewis?
A 3-pointer for Marvin Lewis.
Just comes off the bench after getting his 4th foul 7 minutes ago and drains a 3.
Well, when you're a scorer, you've got that mentality. It doesn't take you long to get warmed up.
Randall, little fade away. Oh, what a beauty.
It's just Schenscher really doesn't want to venture far from the paint, and if Randall can knock that shot down, he's going to put the Big 12 in a bad way.
Lewis tried to feed it in the box, take away by Blake. And he passes a wide open 3-ball. Nicholas to the rack.
Now you got to, Paul Hewitt needs to get a timeout right here. This game getting away from him a little bit. I think they also need to get Chris Bosh back involved. He's been silent offensively.
Randall to steal. 5-point Maryland lead, 5 minutes to go. Shot there by Nicholas. Jack the other way. And contact made. Blocking foul on Blake. Boy, just when it seems as though Georgia Tech is on the ropes, they come back and make a play. But then when they get within 1, Mike, they've turned it over. Maryland's come up with a big steal.
Gotten back in it defensively, and that was not a particularly well-run break by Georgia Tech. They were very compressed there. The wings didn't get out. So Jack really had to bail them out by making something off of the dribble that wasn't there.
Let's go to Dwayne Ballard.
Tom, one of the players not on the court, but who's very much a part of this team is David Nelson. David Nelson is a reserve. As you take a look at Ed Nelson, David is a reserve on the Georgia Tech team, a mechanical engineering major. Listen to his course load from this last semester. Thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, machine design, electrical circuits laboratory, and elective film course in literature and communications. He came away with 4 A's and 1 B. I'd like to see a comparative study of Mike Jaminski's course load during that time at Duke.
He's using my notes, Dwayne. That's why he's doing so well.
Nicholas, acrobatic shot, will not fall, and now Georgia Tech down 4 the other way.
Paul Hewitt has got to be very proud of his team. They have responded, as you touched on, forward to every knockout blow that Maryland has tried to throw.
Well, Georgia Tech 9.5 seconds away from having only 1 loss on the year. Last touch by Jack, got himself hung in the air with nowhere to go.
Yeah, they need to look 2 places. They need to get Bosh involved, or they need to take advantage of B.J. Elder, because he is being guarded by Drew Nicholas, and we talked about the mismatch physically down on the post.
Talked about Tech. 9.5 seconds and 2 points away from being 7-1 coming into this conference opening. Really likewise for Maryland. Oh, and the ball is kicked. Really, Maryland got a break there.
Official timeout.
3:54 to play. The defending national champions in front of this upstart Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. 69-60.
People in Maryland love sports, especially when their team is number 1. My name is Craig Northrup, a University of Maryland graduate, and I'd like to introduce you to another number 1 team. Maryland's number 1 realtor, the Northrup team. The Northrup team has helped hundreds of Maryland families turn their dreams into reality. We educate you on the selling, buying, and home building experience. The Northrup team sells a home every day. When you're ready to buy or sell, call the Northrup team.
There's no such thing as too much of a good thing. More highlights. More interviews.
My body's kind of gotten adjusted to playing basketball again.
More features. Comcast Sportsnet gives you what you want. Sports Night at 6:30 and 10 p.m. and now at 1 a.m. too. And Sports Rise. More regional sports news starting the minute you open your eyes. Sports Night 6:30 and 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. and Sports Rise 6 to 9 a.m. You want it, you got it. Only on Comcast Sportsnet. After you watch the Wizards play on Comcast Sportsnet, stick around for Guaranteed Residential Lending Wizards Postgame Live. The interviews you need to hear, the highlights you want to see, and the analysis that brings it all together. After every Wizards game on Comcast Sportsnet, our crew's got what every Wizards fan wants. Every day is game day on Comcast Sportsnet.
JBA Mitsubishi's year-end countdown is on. There will never, ever be a better time to buy. 0% 72-month financing. Prices and payments clearly marked. And we'll pay off your trade no matter what you owe. Save now at JBA, the Mitsubishi Superstore. Glen Burnie.
3:54 to go. We welcome you back to ACC Sunday Night Hoops, presented by Staples. And let's take a look at our Lexus ACC numbers overall for all the teams. Conference play now 2 games. This one and the North Carolina win over Florida State last Sunday.
You know, you look at it, and NC State maybe a surprise with Eftimov being out of the lineup. People thought that would bring them down a little bit. Clemson 8-0. We had them last week in a very big win. I think that win over Cincinnati can be a springboard for them. First real quality opponent that they have played.
And of course they will reopen Little John Coliseum on January the 5th. Next week, right here, is part of our doubleheader on ACC Sunday Night Hoops against the Duke Blue Devils. Nicholas for 3. Wow.
Well, he waited his turn, and he's stepping up right now and showing that he can be the man in this offense. 26 points.
2 away from a career high of 28 that he had earlier this year against the Citadel. Maryland with a chance to stretch this lead to 9, even 10. Randall's had a monster second half, and it continues.
Bosch tried to buy the play, and you see the experience. 4 seniors out on the floor for the Terrapins right now, running their offense.
And who hit their last 2 buckets? 2 of the seniors. Elder forced it up there. Muhammad tipped it. Elder got it back. And misses on the back. 9-point game. The Terrapins will slow it down. Their largest lead. Randall with 16 second-half points. Through contact, and he'll go to the line. You know, we talked about Gary Williams coming back to his alma mater and getting the job here at Maryland in '89, coming off a team that won just 9 games, finished in last place in the ACC. His first year, they won 19 games, went to the NIT, no postseason appearances over the next 3, then went to the NCAA in '93-'94. They have been there every year since.
Plus 25 wins the last 4 years. I mean, he is really. And I asked him yesterday. We were doing the interviews before the show. If his colleagues treated him any differently, having won a national championship, and if he had viewed guys who had won championships any differently. And he said, yeah, all the accolades have been nice, but he said at the end of it, I hope that my whole body of work is what they judge me on and how I did as a coach. Because there are a lot of great coaches who have never even been to a Final Four. John Chaney, and a lot of times it has nothing to do about how good a coach you are, whether you get a chance to play for a national championship.
An impressive resume indeed for Gary Williams, a 57-year-old native of Collinswood, New Jersey. Bosch to the basket, and he's hacked on the arm by Smith. It's interesting to know one other part of that resume for Williams. He is one of only 9 coaches coaches ever to guide his alma mater to a national championship, and the first since Norm Sloan did it at NC State in 1974.
Talk about pressure coming back, but and we talked yesterday about what a journey it's been for him, having played here. But saying that his first coaching job, he was a junior varsity high school coach in New Jersey, and then just kind of moved his way up the ladder. It doesn't happen that way for a lot of guys anymore. They become players and they get their first entry-level job as a major college assistant. They don't pay the dues like a lot of the old-time guys like Gary Williams did. See if Georgia Tech gets into some sort of full-court pressure after a made free throw here.
Well, Muhammad is anyway. And he's whistled for the foul, bumping Gilchrist. It's going to be very interesting to watch both of these teams as the conference season plays out. The rest of this regular season plays out. So many new faces on this Maryland team. And for Georgia Tech, I mean, Bosch and Jack, the two freshmen, but a lot of guys who are freshmen that logged plenty of minutes for Paul Hewitt last year. You would expect them to be playing at the top of their game perhaps by end of January.
Yeah, you look at B.J. Elder, Ed Nelson, and Ismail Muhammad, guys who were tested under the fire, but they're second to North Carolina in starts by sophomore and freshmen, so it's still very young. You look at that club, and B.J. Elder is your elder statesman out there, and just a sophomore. We talk about him kind of coming in here and being the voice of reason and the voice of experience. The guy's in his second year.
Gilchrist gets 1 of 2, and Lewis a rebound. Under 2 minutes to go, and Georgia Tech having to play catch-up. Elder along the baseline. Silly. The rebound to Smith. Smith's had a solid game here tonight.
Now played well. And this is where the lack of Tony Akins and a three-point threat is going to hurt them here in trying to claw their way back into this game. Elder and Lewis are their two guns right now, and it just hasn't been happening from behind the arc. Georgia Tech 2 of 12 now from behind the three-point line.
The Terrapins call timeout.
Toyota player of the game should come as no surprise. Drew Nicholas, 26 points. We mentioned earlier that's a conference career high. He's 2 away from matching his all-time high.
Yeah, only 8 of 19 from the field, but 3 of 6 from behind the arc. And the key thing, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. So he has had a big game, and career high 7 rebounds, so doing it on the other end. And what you touched on it, and you talked about Ryan Randall. Nice balance between perimeter and inside with those two guys. 46 out of Maryland's 77 points.
Minute and a half to go, a 10-point Maryland lead. And a reach-in foul will go against Bosch. Blake has hit on 9 of 13 from the line this year. The executive producer of ACC Sunday Night Hoops is Bill Borson. The coordinating producer, Roy Hamilton. Tonight's game produced by Bob Steinfeld, directed by Lottie Dale. The studio show produced by Lloyd Maxon. The senior vice president of field operations is Andrea Berry. The vice president of field operations is Karen Newman. And a wonderful crew we have each and every time we come here to College Park, Maryland. We thank them, along with our stat man, Daddy Wags, Mark Wagner.
Can't leave him out.
Absolutely not. Daddy Wags is still in mourning over the demolition of Riverfront Stadium in his hometown of Cincinnati this morning.
I saw the Black Armband, and I was wondering what that was for.
Caught in the air again and just had to throw it up there, and Nicholas will pull it back. And now Nicholas will go to the free throw line with a chance to match his career high if he can hit 2 free throws. We brought it up earlier, Mike, and I think it bears repeating. And you touched on it, how, it's kind of the way it used to be. But in a day and age where so many people, old people, young people, want that instant gratification, Drew Nicholas is a wonderful example of just waiting your turn.
You know, especially being a bench guy for 3 years, and you know, to hang in there for 4 years, get your degree, come after you know, it's got to be. I talked to him, and you know, there are a lot of old friends that he went to battle with last year who aren't here, and a lot of new young guys coming in. But I think he really relishes the chance to be a senior leader on this group and really pass on the knowledge to his freshman class.
Three-pointer by B.J. Elder. Elder's had a nice game here tonight. 19 points for Elder, who averages nearly 17. You know, you talk about great examples for young people, and I know it's getting away from basketball a minute, but the #1 story here in this area today was the final game in the marvelous and future Hall of Fame career of Washington Redskins cornerback Darryl Green. And I'm not so sure, Mike, there's another person in the world of sport, coach, player, front office, whatever it may be, who could be a better role model for young people, whether they be white, black, yellow, green, all across this country of ours today.
When you marvel as a professional athlete, I marvel at 20 years in that profession. Just unbelievable. And the thing that's also incredible is that he is a much better person off the floor than he ever was a player.
Contact made at the other end. Maryland will get it back.
But, you know, he has so woven himself into the fabric of this community, and they made the comment today that the community is getting a heck of a guy now full-time.
Absolutely. Well, what a classy man. We've had numerous chances to be around Darryl Green through the years. Congratulations to him.
And it's tough. I don't care. I'll never forget my last game, and regardless of how old you are or when it happened, it's a very, very emotional time. And, you know that the end is coming soon, but when it finally arrives, I remember I cried during the national anthem of the last game. I knew that was the last time I was going to hear that as a player.
That's why one of the great days in college sports is always senior day.
For me, it was the last home game and getting my jersey retired against Clemson and all that entails. I mean, it's almost unfair to make a person play under those conditions because you have so many emotions going through you that you just like to kind of enjoy it for what it is.
Lewis, a long three to make it a 7-point game, so Paul Hewitt's team not going to call it quits quite yet.
Yeah, we're reminiscing here, and Maryland's in their home run trot, and Georgia Tech says, hey, we might be grabbing on the ropes here, dragging ourselves off the canvas.
We're going to talk throughout the entire year about the 50th anniversary team, the all-time Atlantic Coast Conference team from all the schools around the league this year. Boy, some great names here. Kenny Anderson from Lethal Weapon 3, Matt Harpering, Mark Price, who alongside with John Sally had some tremendous seasons at Georgia Tech, and Dennis Scott.
And amazing thinking that Georgia Tech just came into the league, and I think 78 was their first year, 78 or 79, so pretty impressive that they got on the map in a hurry. Bobby Cremen's doing a great job recruiting and getting them up to speed in the early 80s.
Now, Maryland's been around from the get-go in the ACC. 7 Terrapins on the all-time team. Len Bias, who tragically died, of course, after being drafted by the Boston Celtics. Juan Dixon, the all-time leading scorer. The great Len Elmore, John Lucas, Tom McMillan.
How about those 3 guys on the team at the same time? That ain't such a bad deal.
No. And coming up next from Cameron Indoor Stadium, your old stomping ground, G-Man, it'll be Dayton and Duke.
And that'll be, and people look at that game and they may kind of turn their nose a little bit. Dayton, a very, very good mid-major team. They're supposed to make a lot of noise in the Western Division of the A-10. So that should be a very competitive ball game.
Yeah, most believe Dayton will go to the NCAA tournament this year. They have been very, very good at home. And they've taken their lumps like a lot of young teams will away from home. And then tonight is definitely an away game for the Dayton Flyers.
Well, all of a sudden now, these the free throws become a little bit tougher to make.
Blake has struggled from the line.
69% coming in, missed that first one.
He's missed his last 2 and 3 of his last 4. Got that one to make it an 8-point game.
The Terrapins call timeout.
Gary Williams wants to make sure after that made free throw that his team is on the same page defensively here. Talk about the options that are out there. Marvin Lewis and B.J. Elder are your primary three-point threats, and Nystrom, who is out of the game, is one as well. He had a three early in the first half.
You know, the one thing you look back on this particular game, they really got away from getting the ball down to Chris Bosh, who was so effective the opening minutes of this game.
And then, yeah, it really came on at the start of the first half, 10 points early in this half, and it's not scored since, I don't think. But here's a look at Maryland's schedule.
Stepping out of conference against Wagner and Hampton, and then back to conference play on the 11th home against Florida State. That game against
4 games, 58% as a team from the floor, 47% from three-point range. And as we mentioned, playing stiffer competition here tonight.
Nice help by Bethel.
And last touch by Landry. It'll be Wolfpack ball when we come back. Landry a standout so far for Purdue, helping to keep the Boilermakers within 3.
That for the kids?
Yeah, I just got them some sweaters.
I just got us all on the Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan with M. That way they can talk to their friends all they want. Good luck with that.
Good luck with this.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan and the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer from within the America's Choice coverage area. Plus, buy one LG VX3200 for $19.99 and get up to 3 free.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Today, all of humanity will kneel before us.
Killzone, rated M for mature.
Almost there. Okay. Surprise.
Oh, honey. How did you get a bow that big?
It's that time of year again. Time for the Lexus December to Remember sales event, where you'll find the best values of the year on your favorite Lexus vehicles. See your Lexus dealer.
What are we stealing?
If you want to be the perfect thief, you've got to look the look, talk the talk, and walk the walk. Ocean's 12.
So, how'd it go?
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 10th.
For some, recovery is a long road. For men, they reach for Revitalizing Lotion Q10. Because Q10 replenishes skin to feel healthy, firm, and fit. Especially when you don't. Nivea for men. More evolved skincare.
NC State, after 11 years outside the NCAA tournament, in the tournament the last 3 years, thanks largely to the great play of Julius Hodge, one of the best players in the country.
What would you call this package?
A hodgepodge.
Thank you very much. A great feel for the game, I think, Jay. His improvement offensively is the key, I think. But he can do so many things for this team on both ends of the floor.
Well, you can't really put him into a position. He's just a player. He can play the point. He can bring it up. He's an outstanding passer. He rebounds very well, and he's very good defensively. Gets a lot of different deflections, and he is really long and active on the defensive end.
He had a little workout in Vegas, and they feel, a lot of the NBA people, that he will be a point guard. Interesting.
I think that's true. He can see over the top of defenses. He's not going to be a speed merchant, but he can walk the ball up the floor and back you down.
And they posted up off the timeout. Hodge couldn't get anything. The kick out, let him off empty.